consequences. Today, the total number of mission schools in Malaysia as of January 2008 is 410, and the number of the total student enrollment is 241,272, 241,272. Now, these figures were not collated by me. I managed to get from the Economic Planning and Research Division of the Ministry of Education. From one young nice man, I telephoned. Many people I do not know. I pick up the phone, I talk to them, and they're very nice. This man, Dr. Ahmad, very nice, and he gave me these figures. But when I looked at them, I said, I'm very sorry. I don't think your figures are quite accurate. Then he said, no, they're accurate. Then I said, after the symposium, I will come and help you. Because there are mistakes, as the Bishop, Reverend Munhi pointed out, the SJKC mission schools in Perak, he put down one, but there are more than one, because I have served in Perak, so I know. And it is the mistakes which are evident, which I think maybe is put in the SK schools. But he said, okay, after your symposium, you come and help me. Now, you see, as I help them, they help me back or they help us back. Now, today, we are reassured that our mission schools are supported by the Ministry of Education Malaysia in their long-term plan for education, the National Education Blueprint, in the Cluster School Program and others. We thank the Ministry of Education for such assurances and look forward to the implementation of these promises and assurances. And I'm not being sarcastic. I really believe that they will help if we expect them to help. And they actually have given us links for us to go back to them. For example, the Minister of Education has asked his Pegawai Khas to be in touch with us. So from time to time, this young man will phone me and play all sorts of tricks on me. Last week, he played some loud music, and then he said, God is calling you. Straight away, I knew this must be Mr. Lim Chi-wei. So I said, what do you have to tell me? So from time to time, he will phone me and tell me. So these are the links we still have. And we also have links now with the Deputy Minister of Education. Now, what is the current status? Mission schools, all missionary schools, are capital assisted schools of Sekolah Bantuan Modal in the same category as the Chinese conforming schools and Sekolah Agama Rakyat, where the land and buildings of the schools are not owned by the government, but by the owners, that is the mission authorities. And I've given the names of the mission authorities. Now, after 1971, when nearly all mission school teachers opted for the government service, all mission schools opted to be run by the government. The mission schools became partially aided government-assisted mission schools with all the criteria that I put there. Now, just to tell you, our mission authorities were honorable people, and they opted to for our school to be partially aided mission schools where the government ran the schools. But our Chinese conforming friends were more shrewd. They divided the school into half. Half became Chinese conforming, the other half became SUA, private. But the mission school, we trusted them, we gave up everything which could be given up. But the maintenance of the buildings, as promised under the Artist Report Review of 1971, did not materialize. Instead, all headmasters in mission schools found they had to source out or raise funds to maintain and repair buildings, and to buy students and teachers' tables and chairs. Of course, the mission school heads were told, once in 2 years, you can apply for Bantuan Modal. And I remember, as a mission head, I always liked the elections. Before the elections, we could get a lot of things. So in only elections or by-elections, I held every year. Now, the artist report, you promised a dollar for dollar allocation in the construction of new school blocks, but this was rarely implemented. And the school heads found they had to source for some of the funds themselves. So the status of the mission schools is that they are partially aided. And because the mission authorities own the land and buildings. Now, what are the issues? There are a number of issues which I put in Annexure B. This was our 15-point manifesto, which we handed to the Minister of Education on February 13th, the day Parliament dibubarkan. So I will highlight a few issues. Maintenance, grants, rent, basic furniture. We all know that mission schools are very old and need plenty of funds to refurbish, to renovate the schools. I took all the things that the schools need. Now, on the one hand, we have our mission schools looking so dilapidated, so faded, and on the other hand, we've got new government schools looking like hotels and resorts. Many heads tell me, see, beautiful facilities. They've got a new building, but I always tell them, but you've got something much more. You've got character. They don't have character. Yeah. Now, the government won't help because they say that the buildings and the land are owned by somebody else. They cannot repair somebody else's property. So I put down our answer. The mission authority gives free and unencumbered use of the land and buildings of the school to run in prime areas a government school for national purposes without charging even a nominal rental. In turn, up to 2002, before intense lobbying bore fruit, the mission authority was charged exorbitant quick rents at commercial rates for the land the government is using. So because of that, we are asking the government, the authority, to give maintenance grants. And we are saying we will not surrender our land, because once we surrender our land, we forfeit owners' rights and will have no more local standards.